stream. If you don't mind, we're going to talk about different things and whatever comes up. I'm here in Iloilo, back from some traveling. Did a live stream yesterday, had fun doing that. And it's all good, you know. And most things you want to talk about, it's all good too. There's some areas that I won't go to. But, we're just talking about life in the Philippines. Talk about why I came here after living in Thailand for so many years. And it's all good. I didn't see Gino live this morning. Maybe I missed it. If I did, apologies, Gino. I hope you're feeling okay, brother. I know you've been fighting the crud that's going around. And there's somebody popped in. Happy to see you here. Welcome to the Colonels Chronicles. Peace. And yeah, I'm just sitting here at the house. No, not a green screen. You can see at the top there. Thanks for the thumbs up. And anyway, I just thought I'd come on here and see what's happening out in the YouTube universe. Seems like there's a lot of hate going on out there, and I hate to see that. I don't want to be a hater here. Henry Broussard, how we're doing it. I woke up. I slept a full 6 hours last night, which is like really good for me. And so, yeah, I feel pretty good. The Lord give me another day above the ground and or not being dust again. And yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Henry? Hey, Tom Severs, good day, Colonel. Happy to see you guys. You guys happy to? I don't know if you guys watched Dazzle TV or not. Did you guys see if Gino was live this morning? If he was, I missed it, and I hate that because he always makes me smile in the morning. I never seen him do so happy in my life, but anyway, I know he's been feeling under the weather, so but not him only. Bella's Traveler's sick right now too. He's got the crud, and James and Karen. Karen had. I hope the Colonel doesn't get it. It's halftime. Seattle leading. I'm going to be honest with you, Derek. I don't even know who's playing, man. My stupid, lousy, stinky Cowboys ain't there, so I ain't paying attention. Oh, wow. I just realized I'm going to run out of data probably during this live stream. That's not good. I meant to re-up with Globe before I started this. So I tell you what, if this cuts off because I've run out of data, because I don't use Wi-Fi here at the house, I'll come back. So just stick around. I'll buy a promo and come back. But I'm not going to do that right now. We'll just take the chances and see. I don't know what time I renewed last time, and that's when they'll cut me off. But let's just see what happens. Oh, he was live. I missed it then. Man, when I looked, you know what? He must have been earlier than when I looked. So I feel bad then. Hey, Marissa and Norm. That's Norm there. Good morning to you. Early morning for you guys, I guess. Hey, Colonel. Lou. Hey, Lou. Good to see you here. I saw you on other channels there, Lou. I commented to you. I hate football. I never learned to like it. Well, we're rooting for the Cowboys since I was a little boy. So, since 1971, I've been rooting for them when I got adopted and found out my new parents were Cowboys fans. And so I switched over from, Baltimore Colts to the Dallas Cowboys. Is all good because my father went to Dallas Theological Seminary back in the day. Graduated from there. One of the 3 master's degrees that he had. But I, for playing sports, now I played football. I played football all the way up through college, but I was in the Army. I played rugby. Now that's a sport right there. You want to play a game that, when that game's done, you're worn out and you hurt everywhere. But it's a good kind of hurt, you feel like you did. You play a game of rugby, when you're done, you felt like you did something. Then there's a big party afterwards, Shoot, there might be a party before the game. When I played rugby up in Alaska, those guys were something else. But, Dandy Don, yeah, old Don Meredith, Yeah, back in the day. But, I was a Johnny U fan, too, back in the day, And, because my foster parents lived in Maryland, Jarrettsville, Maryland, not too far from Baltimore, and so they were Baltimore Colts fans. But we got married. Got married. Yeah, I was 4 years old. I got married. I was 6 years old when I got adopted, and my dad was stationed at Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland, but hardcore Dallas Cowboy fans. And then that's why I was so upset at my dad. Before he passed, he had switched over because of Jerry Jones' idiocy, and he had become a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And that's just like, that's an unpardonable sin in the football world. I'm sorry. You cannot go from being a Dallas fan to an Eagles fan, or vice versa, you know. But I mean, I guess the Eagles fans could get saved and become a Dallas fan. I don't know. But just because the Eagles have been lucky the past few years and gone to the Super Bowl, but they still stink, man. They're still the dirty birds and the you know what birds in my book. They always will be. But you know what? On all honesty, it's not the players, it's the fans. You know, them dirty, nasty Eagles fans. I can't stand them. Cannot stand them. They can't stand us either. You know, yeah, it's a shame. You know, you can lose friendships over stuff like that. You know, from people, Eagles fans acting stupid. But anyway, because I had to work in that city, that nasty city, Philadelphia. I worked there for 7 years. Opened up a prison there, a detention center, and I was so glad when I got out there. I ain't gonna lie. I was so glad when I transferred out of there and went down to Southeast Georgia. I'm not gonna lie. Norm says, I confuse myself with these. Yeah, you get me sometimes too, Norm. And now if you put Norm at the first of your other channel, then I've been good. You know, if you put Norm dash at Marissa, but I got it. It's probably her channel. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. I get more confused the older I get. And I ain't that old. Feel like it sometimes, but really not. Your childhood was in the 50s. Yeah, that's why your name's Hater. Oh my goodness. 50s. Dallas Cowboys were not even around in the 50s, man. Come on now. They burned the city down when I assume you're talking about the Eagles, and the Eagles are stupid. Eagles fans are stupid, you know. But here's the thing: when you got nothing else to cheer about, that's what you cheer about. Now, see, on the flip side of that, I used to be an LA Dodger fan, and for years. But my time working in Philly, I switched to be a Phillies fan. So I used to go to the ball games, and what an enjoyable evening, especially when you go to the new ballpark. Beautiful ballpark. There's not a bad seat in that place, and it was fun. The Phillies games were fun, and the Phillies fans are not diabolical like the Pigeon fans are. You know, the Philly fans are, they're hardcore, but they're not, they're not going to kill you if you're wearing the other team's jersey. Like you go into the Eagles, game, you're wearing another, you got to run a risk of getting shanked or getting beat up. It's ridiculous. It's a game, folks. But yeah, there's Eagles fans I can't stand them. Cannot stand them. Let's see. Yeah, Lou, I changed my name more than I changed my clothes. This is how it's going to be forever. Is this how it's going to be forever, Colonel? Only if you choose for it to be that way, my friend. Only if you choose that way. Alex Narvaez. Hi. Hello, Alex. How you doing on your subs, Alex? Did you reach 50 yet? Your dad must have been upset when Colts moved to get the Indianapolis. Well, Derek, that was my foster father, and honestly, by the time that happened, they were living down in Texas. They were living in Texas, so I don't know. Before he's passed away many years ago. I don't know Charlie. I don't know who he rooted for. I can't even talk this morning, folks. Hold on, let me take a sip. Oh my goodness. I don't get drunk, but I sure talk like I'm drunk sometimes. Starting to feel like I'm Ray sometimes when I'm talking. Dude's always drunk, but he keeps it together. Drunk, I can't do it. I can only if I was. Oh my goodness, that would be scary if I was drunk. Yeah, Quad Zero said hello. Hello, Quad Zero. Hey, folks, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you, as always. Appreciate you when you visit the Colonels Chronicles and my live stream or whatever I'm doing. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. That helps me beat the algorithm. It doesn't beat the algorithm. It just helps you in the algorithm. Let's be fair. But, yeah, just go ahead. I appreciate all the thumbs up. There's like 6 of them. I appreciate that. But I need to double that if I can. I appreciate it. And I thank you very much for that and for your valuable time coming in here and seeing my ugly face. How can a trike driver, Filipino, afford An RPG. I don't know, Lou. Maybe somebody gave it to him. I don't know. I saw on the news. I didn't see that, Lou. So you have to enlighten me. I guess somebody did something nefarious. It sounds like they were on a trike driver did something nefarious. Who knows? People are people, you know. That sin nature takes over, and they just do heinous things, you know. Let's see. Back up. Oh, I missed that. You look like Man John from Stray Kids. Okay. Whatever. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. I'd say thank you if I knew what you were talking about, but good morning, Colonel from William Roseboom. James is a good friend. Good morning. Brother, how are things up there? Hey, Lowell. Lowell's in the house. Hello from Oregon. God bless. Thank you, Lowell. We all need blessings from God. You know, and honestly, in my life, I've been super blessed. I can never, even though I complain sometimes, like going into McDonald's or Shakey's, I don't have anything to complain about. You know, the Lord has blessed me in my life, even though I admittedly do not deserve it. I don't deserve any blessings, but I still get them, and I'm thankful for it. Thankful to the Lord for that. Norm. Okay, maybe less confusing now. All right, Norm. How's the weather? It's been raining here in Ackland for hours. Well, that's not good there, William. That ain't good, man. It's not raining here in Iloilo yet, but it sounds to me like maybe it's coming this way, unless it's just going across the top of the island. But I tell you what, every time I go up to Ackland, I think every trip I've made to Ackland, it has rained on me. You know, I remember when I was looking to the sky before I left Iloilo, and I'm like, man, it's not looking good, not looking good. And I'm praying, please, Lord, don't let it rain on me, don't let it rain on me. And you know what? Just to keep me humble, it rained on me right before I got to James and Karen's. I was like, don't that figure? Got to keep me humble, you know. That's all. I've just realized anytime I go to James and Karen, my shoes are going to get trashed. I'm going to get soaking wet. That's just the way it is. It's part of going there to their house, you know, to visit them. It's all good. But I do need to get up there. But I think they're fixing to travel again soon. I got to call him today, maybe. Let's see, Norm. Yeah, Norm. That's how I feel. How'd you say? He's really handsome. It's a compliment. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. He's not handsome, but I appreciate the compliment. Sometimes, you know, when I read the comments on here, my eyes ain't that great. And sometimes I read them wrong or I interpret them wrong. So you're more than welcome to correct me in my misunderstanding, and I appreciate that. So thank you, sir. Don't believe you, but I appreciate it. It's all good, man. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. If you really want to give me a compliment, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. And everybody that's in here passing by the live stream or looking at it, stick around for a little bit. Tell me who you are. Introduce yourself. I'll give you a shout out. Don't be a troll. Don't be a hater. But just come on here and spread some good morning cheer or evening cheer wherever you're at. Tell us where you're from. Say hello to the host. Give a thumbs up. That's what I do when I go into people's channels. You know, sometimes I go on the channel, I don't even know these live streams, but I go through and I just, hey, good morning, good afternoon. I say hello, you know. If I like what they're doing, I give them thumbs up. But thank you. I can't say, I don't want to butcher your name. Hanjun. You'll have to help me on that pronunciation. I really hate to butcher people's names. I like to say their names correctly. Lou says, Colonel, you remind me of my former boss in appearance and attitude. He was an Italian from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Well, you know, I spent more years of my life than I want to count in Pennsylvania and northeast Philly area where I was living and working downtown Philly. So a lot of Italians there. So maybe some of it rubbed off on me, brother. I don't know. But hey, I love life. I just like having a good time. And but when I'm in a work situation, a little bit different. I'm kind of a hard ass when it comes to working, but especially as a boss. But it's all good. I try to be fair to everybody. I dislike everybody equally. It's all good. But thanks for the compliment. Wow, Trish, haven't seen you in a hot minute. Trish says good afternoon. Still morning here, right, Trish? Yeah, still. What is it? Hold on. Yeah, 9:37 in the morning here. But good afternoon to you, girl. Apparently, I'm not a troll. Now, you're not a troll, Trish. I like to see you come in here because you're somebody different. Trish's Yarn Adventures. From down under on the hemisphere. No, I'm happy when I see most people, to be honest with you. Some people irritate me, I ain't gonna lie. But you're not one of them, Trish. You always make me laugh and smile. Lowell, I'm trying to figure out possibly a different medication for the most expensive ones. Yeah, like your oxycodone. Oh my goodness. What's that? Gabapentin and sulfate. These three alone are almost 1,000 US dollars. Yeah, that's crazy, Lowell. Keep working on it, man. Maybe something will happen for you and you can still come over here. But look at it this way. If you can't, there's a reason for it. Okay? Try to be content where you're at and in the situation you're in. But I know, like you said, pretty soon you won't be able to afford it there in the U.S. either. Not, brother, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I don't have that answer right now. Norm says, my fiance is always calling me Pogey. I think I need to get her prescription for her glasses updated. Nah, Norm, don't do that. Leave it the same, brother. If she's calling you Pogey, why change the prescription, man? I don't even, oh, my nose hairs are tickling me again. Nah, Norm, leave that prescription the same, brother. I tell you what, tell her to look at me on the screen and ask her if I'm Pogey. If she says I am, don't change the prescription. But if she says I'm not, then yeah, you need to get that prescription changed. I'm just joking, man. That's funny. Trish says, haven't been on YouTube much lately, been super busy. Sorry, don't need to apologize, Trish. Sometimes I run people's lives and videos while I'm working. Trish, honestly, don't ever apologize for not being able to watch YouTube or whatever, because whatever you're doing is probably much more important than what we got going on. I just come on here, I smack my gums and say stuff, and hopefully, I give out some words of wisdom, but I know most of the time I'm just talking, nonsense or whatever, but don't ever apologize, at least to me. You don't need to apologize to me, not at all. I'm just, I said this yesterday in the live stream, I just appreciate people taking time out of their valuable lives, the valuable time in their lives, to watch what I have to say. And really what I have to say on these live streams is fed off of what you guys say to me. Sometimes I have a topic, and sometimes I'm irritated about something. Sometimes I'm happy about something. Sometimes I'm just on here just to be on here and talk, touch people's lives, meet new people, make new friends. Colonel, you ever tried to join a church group over in the Philippines? I'm thinking that will be a great way to meet new people. Yeah, Lou, I've looked at some churches over here. I haven't picked one yet. And there's one I'm looking at here in Iloilo. But you're right, that's a good way to meet people. Absolutely right. What's the Bible say? Don't forsake the fellowship of fellow believers. Yep. I've kind of been neglecting that area of my life. I need to change that. First day without rain, so mowing lawns, 2:30 p.m. here. Yeah, Trish. Yeah, that's what happens when the rain starts. You got to take care of that outside activity. Keep everything from looking like a jungle. Have you seen James and Karen? Henry Broussard. Have you seen James and Karen like me? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I've been to James and Karen. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, but I've been to James and Karen's house. Let's see. Smack your gun. Trish is laughing. Smack your gun. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, smacking her gums, Trish. That's an old, I don't know. That's old American slang, I guess. Or I know I used it in the prison. Yeah, you keep smacking your gums, man. If you know anybody who has dentures and they take them out and they start talking to you, that's what it looks like. They're smacking their gums, I still got a few teeth. I just don't show them much because there's not many to show. Vegas Will. Hey, boss man. Vegas, thanks for recognizing, man. But, if y'all want to know something funny, if you're in the joint and they call you boss, it ain't necessarily a compliment. Think about it. read boss backwards, the letters, and you'll see what I'm saying, and that's what they mean. And I'm just saying the first S is stupid. You can figure out the rest of it. Trish says, "Be right back. Phone call coming in." Okay, Trish, take care of that. Tell him the colonel said hello. You know, unless it's a bill collector, then tell him, the colonel doesn't know you, and hang up. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Henry Bustard, I got a top to catch, and they don't always say what I needed to say. Did I miss something, Henry? I got a top to catch. I think either I'm reading that wrong or something. Don't always say what I need to say. That's all right. So, hold on a second, folks. I got to check something real quick. Okay, we're good. Somebody was blowing up my phone. I had to see if it was something super important. So anyway, everyone knows I got this new drone, and I took a trip yesterday. I didn't take it with me. I was going to, but I went to Gimmerus Island yesterday, and I was using my Insta360 and filming the drive and everything, which I'm going to process that today and maybe post it if I have time. And I'm here to tell you, the more I have this Insta360 camera, not happy with it. I'll just be honest. I'm not going to bash it, but I'm not happy with it. The battery runs out quickly, and the memory card fills up quickly unless you keep it on the lowest resolution. But when you keep it on the lower resolution, your video it's all blurry. So if you want higher quality video while you're driving or riding on a motorbike, you got to have it to higher resolution. When you have it to higher resolution, it just burns that battery up quick. Meanwhile, my buddy Quagmire, who was riding with me on his bike, he just, on my recommendation now, he just got the Osmo 6, the Action 6 by DJI, which is what I wish I had bought now. And I might still go get one. I don't know. We'll have to see. But, well, actually, I shouldn't say I'm going to go get one eventually. Just when. And because it kind of torques me a little bit. This Insta360 was not cheap. And, it's showing all kinds of, does this, that, yeah. And saying, and I watched videos, I watched reviews on it, and people talking how great it was. And there were some negative things. I wish now that I had focused more on their negatives, because now if you have one, the more you use it, the negatives become more prominent, and you expect more out of this camera. And for those who don't know what it is, this is the Insta360, okay? And it's a great little camera, okay? It just doesn't last long when you're using it at the optimal level. So you need to have extra batteries. You need to have extra SD cards, which I don't have extra of either right now. So either I spend money and buy those, or I get the DJI product I should have bought from the get-go. Now DJI has a 360 camera also. It's shaped more like the DJI cameras, which are more square or less rectangular. They're fatter than this, but shorter. And anyway, so I'm just saying I'm not happy with this camera anymore. But I spent a lot of money on it, so I'm trying to use it. But I'm gonna, if I want to continue to use it, because I'm going along yesterday, and it just out of nowhere dies. And I'm like, I hadn't even gotten back on the Roro yet, because I wanted to film getting onto the Roro from Gimmerus to come back to Iloilo. I couldn't get it. I had to get out my phone and do it with my phone, but I can't do that while I'm driving, so I missed that 360 drive up onto the Roro, which is what I wanted. And so, needless to say, not happy about this Insta360. So Insta360, if you want to reach out to me and prove me wrong or tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I'm probably doing something wrong, and the product might be better than what I'm saying, but I'm not happy with y'all right now, because I spent hundreds of dollars on this for something that I can't even use it the whole day. It's crazy. It's totally ridiculous. And I was turning it off, to try to save the battery and everything, but I'm going to look at what I filmed yesterday. Hopefully I got some good video and upload that onto the channel, and you guys can see what it's like riding around Gimmerus Island. There's something about Gimmerus too. I did not know that they had huge windmills over there. I'm like, huge windmills to generate power. And I was talking to one of the security in the barangay where we stopped, where there was a pier at this one place, and we stopped there. I was talking to the security guy there, and we were asking him about the windmills because they're right by this barangay. He's like, yeah. He goes, because we're like, it's not worth it. He goes, like, nah, they're not worth it. And I'm like, well, and we were talking, and what it is they're generating power on Gimeris, shipping that power over to Iloilo, then Iloilo is shipping it back to Gimeris. Now, does that make any sense, folks? I mean, I understand it. I understand what they're doing. But does it make any sense? And is it efficient? Just saying. You know? But yeah, that guy in the barangay, he's like, he's just, no, not good. But these things were huge, man. I've seen windmills in Thailand, but not the size of these. These things are huge, huge windmills. All right, let's see. Oh, Henry said, yeah, I got it. Talk to text, because I'm going to always say what I try to say. Yeah, Bellas Traveler does that. That's why his messages are always dyslexic looking and messed up. And I've used talk to text before. Never works for me. I don't know if it's my voice or what, but I always end up having to go back and correct everything. I'm like, you know what? I might as well just type it. It doesn't save me any time. And if you just send it after saying it without proofreading it, who knows what you're going to say. And so you got the time of saying it, then you got this time of proofreading it. Then if you want it to be coherent, you got to go in and correct it. By then, I could have just typed it, even though it's annoying to have to type everything. But it is what it is. So you decide how you want to do it. Bond is in the house. What's that say? Hold on. Does that say? Hold on, folks. I got to look without my glasses. Sunk cost. Are you going to spend more because you already have it? Dump. It is what I say. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, Devon. I guess you're talking about the Instant 360. I thought about just selling it myself. I don't know. Or I could continue to put money into. I don't know. I'm liking that OS 5, and I really like what they're doing with their camera. They can't get the 360 views like I can get with the Instant 360. But then you have to ask yourself, are you really utilizing that as much as you could? If you're utilizing it from the Instant 360, then all the negatives may be worth it. But I haven't been, so I would have been better served just having a straight camera, and I like that DJI Action 6. And my buddy, he was using it all day long. He still had battery power, and he was recording. He was probably recording conversations he shouldn't have been recording, knucklehead. But because you're like, oh, is this recording? Oh, this is still recording. I said, man, you should turn that off, man. Stuff we're talking about probably doesn't need to be heard by the general public. I hope he deletes it, as we talk about some sensitive issues sometimes. Let's see. Have a great day. Going back to the game. Yeah, Derek, I don't even know who's Seattle playing, man. I don't even know who they're playing. What AFC team? I don't know. I don't remember. You know what? I don't really care. I'll find out later. And Norm says, I'll be going DJI when I get there. Had planned on a GoPro back in my hiking days, but overheating put me off. Meeting Marissa paused all those plans. Yeah, Norm, I just do your research. I thought I'd done mine, and I thought I was satisfied with the Insta360 from the research I did. But like I said, I ignored the negatives more than I should have. I should have looked at them more and compared more to the DJI. But I really liked that 360 view, and I'm not sure if I knew that DJI had a 360 then. I don't think it was out when I was looking. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think DJI, some people will argue with this because they'll go on Chat GTP and they'll go, oh, yeah, no, the Insta360 is a better product, and according to Chat GTP, the Insta360. So, the Colonel goes and gets Insta360. I'm not happy with it. Not happy with it. I think it's each individual product. Just like, he was talking about the DJI gimbal. It's better, or not DJI, the Insta360 gimbal. Because it goes around 360. Okay, yeah, it did. And at the time, DJI didn't do that. But DJI does now, or the new one is going to do that. And I think the DJI is a better made product overall. Most of their products are better. But don't quote me on that or prove me wrong. William Roseman, solar power is in the future, sir. Well, I'll tell you what, I think the wind power is inefficient power source, you know, and everybody wants to, oh, let's go green, oh, the carbon footprint, hogwash, you know. The carbon footprint that those windmills, come on, man, when they break, and they do break, what do you got to do with that stuff, man? I mean, I'm told yesterday that the the gearbox, whatever you call it, the controller up there behind the blades, that's bigger than an 18-wheeler pickup truck, 18-wheeler semi up there. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, that big, but yeah, they look huge from the ground. So I imagine, and so you got to get rid of that somehow. And talk to me about reducing the carbon footprint and all that. Now I get, that whole going green nonsense in the EU and the US, it irritates the heck out of me. Shoot, the Amway Corporation, this is from back in the '80s. They've been powering their power plants with clean fuel for years. They might have been doing clean coal, but they were doing a process of what they were emitting back in the atmosphere was next to nothing. It was like vapor, And it's just like, if they can do it, anybody can do it. But it's going ground. We can't burn coal. We can't do this. And then the people in England, yeah, we've been burning coal for years. Look, everything's black. Well, just because you don't know how to do it efficiently or do it cleanly doesn't mean that it's not possible. But yeah, I just don't. You know what? We should just stay off it because I get it just torques me sometimes. It's like how's that saying go? We bite off the tail despite the head, or so I don't know. It's crazy. I'm not convinced about solar power. I think solar power is a good thing, and I will utilize it when I can. But it's not perfect either, because what do you do with your battery packs? Does the battery last forever? No. So you got to get a new battery. What happens if they can't produce those batteries? What happens if they don't have the heavy metal, or the ingredients or the metals or whatever you need for that battery cell? What happens then? Unless you're doing direct solar power, okay? And then what do you do when you got no power at nighttime then, I guess? Unless you can draw enough power from the moon, the reflection from the moon. But what are you doing when it's cloudy and you're not getting reflection from the moon? There's so many questions I got about that. Sounds like Australian natural gas exports. Countries who import our gas sell it cheaper than what we pay here in Australia. Norm, isn't that the way it is, man? I think it's the same way in the U.S. Doesn't that bite? I mean, if it's coming from your country, it should be next to near free. And that used to kill me when I lived in Texas. There's so many capped oil wells in Texas that still have oil, okay? But they're just capped. Now, we're not doing it because we want to keep the price up. I get it if you're the oil company, but just, and you can't really complain because, like, work smarter. You should have gotten the oil business, Colonel, why didn't you get in the oil business? That's where the money is. Why didn't you get there? Then you'd be capping your wells and keeping the price up too, knucklehead. I get it. I know why they do it. But I get what you're saying. Vaughn says, I was talking about the camera. Yeah, Vaughn, that's what I figured. Yeah. Nikki Evans, hello, Colonel. Hi, Nikki. Hello to everybody. Thank you, Nikki, for saying hello to everybody. And I noticed the thumbs up now, caught up to the number of people. I appreciate that, folks. And if you're coming in here new, let me know who you are. Put your name out there on the chat so we can say hello to you and talk to you for a minute. Williams, you can recycle like 90s of the current windmills. Yeah, I mean, okay, but what are you going to recycle them for? Burning coal will never be efficient. That's not true, William. I beg to differ on that. You can burn coal efficiently with the right filtering and whatnot. Absolutely can. That's spoken like a true European. You can recycle 99% of the batteries. Can't believe you don't know this. I'm not saying you can't, but what does it take to do that, William? We're talking about carbon footprint. But you know, the going green people, and I'm not trying to pick a fight with you, William, you're a good dude. But you know, the going green people, they got excuses for everything to try to explain away their inefficient process. And there's always a drawback in every power source. I don't care whether it's solar, gas, coal, wood, whatever, you know. You're worried about coal, but are you cooking over a wood fire here in the Philippines? You know, in your dirty kitchen? And then you got people like AOC worrying about methane from cows. Excuse me? Give me a break. The earth is its own renewable resource, and the people that start talking about blah, 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 no. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, we were all going to freeze to death because we were going to have a new ice age. You know? Now they want to talk, oh, it's getting hotter, global warming. Oh, what changed? Somebody wrote a book, and that's what changed. Give me a break. You can get me started. And William, just because you can recycle something doesn't make it the best thing, man. That doesn't always justify, you know, doesn't always justify it. Norm says, I used to use a DJI Osmo 2 gimbal in the day, but I find the S2 3U doesn't require it. Also a phone and gimbal in the wind sucks. Yeah, especially if you have a big phone like mine. I use the Osmo 7P, and it works okay, but it has its drawbacks too. And the battery doesn't last as long as you'd like it to. I'm not using it right now. I was using it yesterday. But back to William. Don't get mad at me, William. You know, I'm not trying to argue with you, but I just disagree with you. And I'm still waiting to find out what you're recycling those windmills into, because I think that's a bunch of hogwash. You might be able to do it, but that doesn't mean they are doing it. And then look at the energy, and what's the energy source that you're using to do that recycling? What's the energy that you're using to make the batteries? Are you using solar power to make the batteries? Doubtful. Lowell says, I know I'm pissing people off, but oh well. I have propane generators here, and they are very clean. Whoop. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. OPEC sets all oil prices. Yes. I'm not the expert on that, Von. OPEC understands supply and demand. Yeah. Yeah. You know, as long as somebody wants something, the demand's high, the prices are going to go up. You know. But back to what I was saying, it's just like out in California, dumping oranges in the Pacific Ocean to keep the fruit price up back in the day. Come on now, you know, when you got all them people starving and whatnot, just to keep the prices up. But that's the way it works. I mean, that's economy. That's economics. I have had James eat his words, and you will be next, Colonel. Looking forward to talking to you. Hey, William, knock yourself out, dude. I'm not always right, but neither are you. Okay? And you want to talk to me about carbon footprint and all that, and you can bring up all your stats and whatnot you want. You're not going to convince me that, you know, it's so much better, because it's not. It's just not. I just shake my head at people that feed into the nonsense of the going green people. And most of them are coming from the EU. And what a joke that is. But anyway. Yeah, EU coming out, oh, we're not going to buy products from your company unless you prescribe to our demands of going green. And then the people that supply you, they have to go along with our demands too. We're not going to buy your product. And I'm like, well, okay, don't buy it then. I can't, man, I can't stand this. I can't stand the over-regularization of everything. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'll give you a sub and like on this old channel. Norm, I appreciate it, Norm. It's all good, brother. I appreciate you trying to help me out. Gotta go shower and go with my girlfriend to the hospital for a checkup. Yeah, William, gotta take care of the girl, man. Always do that. Talk to you later. I will come back to the windmill recycling, sir. Yeah, you can do that. I don't really care, William. It's not a big subject that I care that much about. I was just commenting because I saw those big old windmills yesterday, and my buddy and I were just shaking our heads at like, what a joke. But people feed into it, and you feed into it too, apparently, and keep feeding into it. Keep feeding into it. Yeah, and if yeah, Vaughn, if the EU is all worried about going green and everything, why are they getting their oil from Russia? Why are they even using oil? I thought solar and wind power and whatnot was the way to go. But I remember back in the U.S., man, we had hydro power plants all up using the river waters and stuff, And shoot, I remember Peach Bottom. We had a nuclear power plant for decades in the U.S. before people even realized that there was such a thing there at Peach Bottom, in Pennsylvania. So, yeah, I just kind of laugh at you guys that feed into that nonsense. And it's okay. I'm entitled to laugh at it. And you're entitled to tell me I'm an idiot. It's all good, man. I don't care. It's all good. But if your goal in life is to make me eat my words, knock yourself out. It's all good. And we can laugh about it later. Because I'm going to laugh at you when I get off the live stream. But man, I just appreciate you coming on here, sparking up the conversation. It's all good, but we may not agree, and we can agree to disagree. That's all good too. River water, there you go. It is as clean can be. Yeah, but there's byproducts of every, may not have anything to do with the water. But I remember I had good friends up in Alaska, and they were using the Salchu River. Wait, was it the Salchu River? Yeah, because it was going into the Tanana River. And they had a little propeller down there on a rod, and that's how they were powering their batteries, recharging their batteries. This little turbine would spin around, water would go, and it was just spinning the 3 little cups like a prop. And it would spin that thing around like no tomorrow. And that's how they were generating power. I think they also might have had some solar. This is back in the mid 80s. Might have had some solar too. But they had some huge batteries. Take up a lot of space, and now they've come a long way in the battery technology, but you still can't convince me that it's all perfect, because it's not. Nuclear is going to be the new thing. Trump is on it already. Well, Manila Gorilla, nuclear is not really new, my friend. I think the efficiency of the way it's done is better than before, but nuclear is not a new power source per se. It might be newer in the idea of history, within the last 100 years. But yeah, they've been generating nuclear power for a long time. And look, I mean, I'm not a Navy man, but what about the nuclear propulsion that happens in the Navy and whatnot? It seems to me that those little power plants, if you could do something with that, I don't know. Not an expert on all that. Tom Severs, have you seen the solar farms? We have thousands of acres in central Ohio converted to that crap. Don't even get me started, Tom. Don't even get me started. Yeah, you see? Just shake my head. But I love how the Europeans jump all over it. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, because we're not taking your land. Why don't we knock your house down and put up some solar panels so we can say that, hey, we're going green. Isn't it wonderful? Give me a break. Give me a break. I'm the same way. Everything's all good until it affects you personally. Then you start to question the validity and, wow, is this really a good thing? Well, this is affecting my livelihood. I'm the same way. I'm not any different. Norm says, I'll be going solar when I build if I can. Too many brownouts in northern Samar. So I'm thinking solar with batteries with a small generator for cloudy days. Yeah, Norm, and I'm not anti-solar. Don't anybody misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not anti-solar. I think it's a great tool to be utilized. But I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up my backside and say that, oh, it's the end all to save all. It has its drawbacks too. Okay? And those solar panels don't last forever. Those batteries don't last forever. Then you got to spend the money to replace all it. Now, it might be dead before you have to do it. And if so, then, hey, you cheated the odds. But there's costs involved. And, we recoup that cost. Yeah, how many years? Well, 3, 7 years. Well, dang, okay. Well, I don't know. If you got the means, go for it. If you don't, then I guess you're out of luck. SOL, as we used to say. I plan to use a small bit of solar, but will promptly use a generator for brownouts. That's from Mr. Paradise. Yeah, MP, you got to do what works best for you. You know, I'm going to have to use some type of solar or renewable energy or resource or battery pack because I use a CPAP machine. Where's a brownout, man? Try to stay up all night so you don't fall asleep and die. You know, it's not fun. The Green New Deal. Yeah, I think that was the Green New Steel is what that was really all about. And yeah, I think in the EU we're over there laughing about it because they're conning their people too. Green New Scam. There you go. Yeah, scam. I kind of really think it was a steal. You know, money laundering. Tom Severs, Mr. P. Exactly. Yep. Von Dorm. Okay, Von. New York City was designed in a way that DC and AC power were in competition. At the end of the day, AC won, and no huge batteries at the end of the block. Okay. That's interesting, Von. Yeah, big costs in the batteries, which have a limited lifespan. Yeah, Norm, but I think William's gonna tell us how wonderful that is, and that we don't know what we're talking about, and because you can recycle the batteries, that makes it okay. I get, if that's the way you want to think, I guess. But he's not here right now, so we're not going to talk about him, bad about him behind his back. But I'm sure he and James have some good conversations. And here's the thing: you may make me eat my words, but that doesn't mean you're going to change my mind. I'm stubborn now. Even when I'm wrong, sometimes I hate admitting it, but I will admit it when I'm wrong sometimes. But don't blow smoke up my backside and tell me it's wonderful, okay? And that's how I feel about these batteries and whatnot. They're good for what they're good for, but don't sit there and tell me that it's the wonderful thing and you're going to save the world with battery energy. You're not, okay? There's always a cost, and if you need a mineral or whatever to produce a battery and you don't have it, and you got to go over and fight a war in another country to steal that from them, are you a better person? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying there's always a cost somewhere with everything. And I'm kind of like Rush Limbaugh. If anybody ever read any of his books, I think it was his first book he wrote. Talking about the earth is amazing at renewing itself. But see, we let other people convince us and tell us that no, that's not possible, and that we're just using up the earth. And it's just like, does anybody talk about the ozone layer anymore? Remember that, folks? Back in the day? Oh, the ozone's disappearing. CFCs and all that stuff. And you spray an aerosol can, you're creating a hole in the ozone layer. Oh. But you know what? Over time, it renews itself. And the earth renews itself. And the earth creates new energy within itself. Come on, folks. Wake up. People getting rich off of you by scaring you to death. And the world's going to come to an end one day. There will be a new earth and a new heaven. Let's see, catch up here. Let's see. Yeah, big cut. Yep. Norm read that already. Norm's laughing. The harder I'm pushed, the harder the heels dig in. You sound like me, Norm. Boy, I hope we don't ever have a disagreement. It's going to be a standoff. Like what was that, Dr. Seuss, the Lorax? Was it the Lorax where they're standing facing each other at the end? They're building all the highway around it, and they're just standing there, and they're still standing there over the years. Because neither one of them wanted to get out of the other ones. No, that wasn't the Lorax. That was something else. But anyway, those two guys sitting there over the years, neither one of them wanted to step out of the other one's way. So they just stood there, nose to nose, eyeball to eyeball, skin to skin, bone to bone, and they didn't move. And then time just went on. Built highways around them, everything, while they stood there and they wouldn't budge. Yeah. That old guy, Dr. Seuss, he had, there's some wisdom in those books that he wrote. Let's see. Colonel, did you move? Bella said that you may, Mr. Paradise. I have not moved yet. However, moving is not something that I'm against. And I'm not going to say that moving won't be in my future. And truth be told, I moved here to Iloilo to get away from San Juan Batangas, where I was at, because I'd been there for 2 years, or almost 2 years, and I just was tired of it. I needed a change, and I didn't really care for that dirty little town, and I got tired of where I was living, even though I had a nice house. I wish I could just pick up that house and move it on a piece of land here in the Philippines, because that would have been nice. It was a one-story, large, I won't even call it a bungalow, but they would say bungalow here, 3 bedrooms, CR inside, a CR outside, all covered area outside, dirty kitchen, huge dirty kitchen area outside, and it was all walled around. I had a front yard. I had a huge mango tree. It was hard to leave that house per se, but I didn't like the location. And I didn't want to move to Iloilo. I wanted to move to Rojas City, but that wasn't working out for me. Bye Beach. It wasn't working out. It was just too expensive. The rent that they wanted in some of the places up there. And so I said, it's going to be easier to find a place in Iloilo. And I had an acquaintance here who helped me find a place to rent. And that's how I ended up here in Iloilo. And I moved. It got me off of Luzon, which I wanted to be off of Luzon, because Panay Island is a special place. This island, the people on this island, this is a special. These people are so friendly and so calm and so accommodating that, it's easy to live here. And then if you're in Iloilo, there's, if any type of shopping, you can get groceries and stuff you can't get other places. I wish they had a Landers, but they do have an S&R. But I would like to see the Landers in the competition between S&R and Landers. That's competition is healthy in the retail sales market. And anyway, there's a lot that's nice about living here. Now, I don't really care for exactly where I'm living. It's too much urban for me. I would like to be more on the outskirts or in the provinces a little bit more with the ability to drive into the city. That's what I prefer. And so I probably will be moving because I don't care for this house. It was available, and at the time when I got it, it was really great. But when I moved in, then I started seeing the warts come out and the things that the homeowner doesn't want to address that he should address. I told the guy, look, if you're going to rent this out to foreigners, dude, this is not how foreigners live. You got to have proper running water, and you can't have the roof leaking down onto their television and their furniture. It's crazy, And I put out some of my own money to repair some stuff so that it would be more livable for me. But you got the old Louvre style windows here. They don't close. Some of the glass is broken totally out, and the owner won't replace it. And you're like, really, dude? How much does that cost? So it's like, you either do it yourself or you move. And to the thing where I won't stay here. And this could be a beautiful home. And at one time, this probably was a beautiful home. But over the years of not taking care of it, and I find that not with all people in Southeast Asia, but lots of times the owners, they don't care. They just want that monthly rent. They just want money. As long as you're paying the rent, they're not going to fix anything. Now, not all owners are like that. And I'm not that type of owner, but that's the way this young couple is. They don't care. And really, this is not their house. This is their uncle's house, and he's giving it to them to make money off of it. So, it is what it is. But no, I haven't moved yet, Mr. Paradise. I'm not quite sure. I do have interest in a certain female, and that may have something to do with where I live. Not sure yet. Still working on that relationship and still kind of keeping that under wraps for now. I want to keep things under wraps until I know something's a for sure thing, if you know what I mean. Let's see, I was in Batanga City on the east side, out by the Shell refinery for a couple of years. Yeah, now I've been to Batanga City many times. It's not a bad little city. Of course, I used to go down there for immigration. I don't need to do that anymore because I got my SRRV. But when I was doing the tourist visa thing, yeah, I would go to Batanga City. I'd hop on the Supreme bus, go in there to the bus terminal, and believe it or not, I walked all the way from that bus terminal to immigration every time and walked back to the bus terminal. Didn't take a tricycle because they wanted some ungodly, like 100, 150 pesos just to take me down the street. And I'm looking at these guys and, man, get away from me, man. I know I'm a foreigner, but I'm not totally stupid. And I'm not independently wealthy. But anyway, I like Batanga City. And I even contemplated moving, looking for a place to live in Batanga City because you got the port right there. And you can go take the boat from there over to Puerto Galera and relax for a little bit. Mindoro is a beautiful island. Reminds me a lot of Phuket, Thailand, only a lot bigger. And but driving around that island is incredible. And especially if you get on one of those little bajajes, little three-wheel tuk-tuk, whatever. Man, it's a blast, man. And the views, some of the views on that island of Mindoro is just absolutely incredible. Puerto Galera is what Puerto Galera is. It's a tourist destination. That's all it is. And you got a beach there, and they put on the little fire dancers. Excuse me, my nose itching again. They got the little fire dancers and stuff. And oh, there goes my head now. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, Batanga City. It's not a bad little city, man. I mean, I've walked around that city too, and yeah, I never had an issue in Batanga City. That was all right. And you can hop on the highway to go up north, all the way up to Manila if you want, easy. And yeah, Batanga City was all right. I don't know if I want to be out by the refinery, but that is what it is too. How's the school there in Iloilo? I have young kids, 5 and 9. Well, Vaughn, I tell you what, I don't have anybody in school here, so now my friend has a son in school, but she puts him in the Catholic school. But as far as giving you exact information, I got a Christian school right behind literally on the other side of my wall behind my house is the Christian school. But yeah, and here I'm not trying to tell anybody exactly where I live, and I just told you. But anyway, I didn't mean to do that, folks. Don't put that out there for public consumption, just in case somebody's trying to find me. But anyway, I don't have anybody in school, so I can't speak to that. I would just say that I would assume that they're typically like any other Filipino school. And now I've met some school young people when I was walking on Esplanade, and great kids, and one group from the high school down in the city, great kids, and they seemed educated. They weren't ignorant, and they seemed well informed, and they were polite enough, funny, loved life. So, yeah, but to give you a definitive answer, I can't tell you, man. I'm sorry. I don't have young children in school, but I would imagine it's going to be like anywhere else in the Philippines. Trish, oh, Trish is back. Thanks, Trish, for coming back. Appreciate it. 1 minute from an hour on here. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. That's the only thing I worry about buying land and building once they're sort of stuck. I like to at least be able to drive to a large mall, but they don't seem to exist on Samar. Yeah, Norm, you're probably gonna, Tacloban down there in Leyte is going to be the biggest city you can go to, and there's some stuff in Tacloban, but honestly, I liked Ormoc better than Tacloban, to be honest. But I will say this, now I have not been up in Samar, but I'm sure it's beautiful up there also. But Leyte is just beautiful. I wouldn't mind living there as long as it's like I told this woman I'm interested in. As long as I feel safe or that I'm relatively safe, I can live just about anywhere, But I don't want to have to be walking around all the time waiting for somebody to come up and, take a machete to me, or something else. I need to feel safe. Beware of females, LOL, Trish. Trish, you said it. You said it, sweetheart. I didn't. Beware of the females. I think that's on any continent in any country, not just the Philippines, not just down under. Going to Leyte maybe. Uh, that's a possibility, Vaughn. Um, I'm not against that. I'll just put it that way. But I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I'm moving to Leyte because I don't have those plans yet. But I'm not against that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Ackland's beautiful up there where James and Karen are and everything. But in all honesty, I like Leyte better if I had to live somewhere. Especially the area that I was in, near where Bellis Traveler lives, and he's kind of keeps it on the low profile about exactly where he lives. So we're not going to put that out here, but it's got the best of both worlds there. You're near enough to the coast if you want to see the coast or go fishing out on the coast, and you're near enough to the mountains. You're near enough to the farmland. But that's Leyte. As long as you're not internal in the center of the province, of the island there. But it's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. Let's see. You guys I know, Vaughn, you're fishing for information, and I'm not giving it to you. It's not hard to figure out the Colonel. Really not. Good morning, Colonel, from James and Karen. Oh, we were just talking about you. Yours must have been burned. Hey, and your buddy, hey, James, your buddy William was on here. He said he's going to make me eat my words like he did you about, battery powered, windmill power, and recycling and everything. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I'd rather do it in person, though, than over here, over on this chat. But thanks. There's James and Karen, folks. Hold on, let me see if I can pin that. Yeah, there, I put them down there at the bottom, folks. You want to go over and check out James and Karen Adventures, and they support me 100% and help me out, and I do likewise with them, and also with Bellis Traveler. Yeah, prayers for all the people that are sick out there. Gino and James is getting over his thing, and now Bellis has it apparently. I hope I don't get it. If you all don't hear from me for a long time, I'm probably sick. Let's see. The scuba diving at PG White Beach is really good. Yeah, if you're into that, go for it. I mean, someday I might do. I don't know. I'm not doing scuba diving. If I get set up with the right spectacles, and I've seen them in the stores now. Now they're selling snorkeling gear, and they've got the lens inserts already just at -5, -6, -4. Now it's not your exact prescription, but it's close. So if you want to go do some scuba diving real quick, you can buy all that without getting the inserts. And I've always wanted the inserts made because if I'm going to do some snorkeling, I want to have high quality gear and whatnot. But we'll see. I don't know if I'll ever do that or not. I talk about it, but it doesn't mean I'll do it. Box jellyfish bother me. I don't want to get stung by a box jellyfish, and that's something in Thailand we had to worry about because that can almost kill you. Sometimes it can kill you. It can be fatal. The scuba dive. Okay, there we go. Norm. Hey, James. Hey, James. From Vaughn. Continue to feel better, sir. Thanks, Vaughn. There's my good friend. I'm going to keep it real. Too bad it's not a Catholic school. I have the outfit, Oh, my goodness. Keep it real. Come on now. It's a family-friendly channel. Tom Severs. Hello, James and Karen. Hope you both are feeling better. Thank you, Tom. Is it legal for foreigners to own pew-pews? I'm not the expert on that, Tom. Your spouses can. So that also lends to the legality of it for them to be around it. There's certain permitting and stuff from my understanding, but I'm not going to put any of that out because I don't have first-hand knowledge on it. I only have good second-hand knowledge on it, whether it's first-hand or not. Norm says, I was in Tacloban back in October, but just to the airport. My flight from Kataman. What was that? I read that right? Yeah, Kataman was canceled, so they put us on a bus to Tacloban to catch a flight to Manila from there. A fun 8-hour trip. Oh my goodness. Yeah, to Cloven. I mean, I guess I don't have enough experience there. So far, the experiences that I've had in Tacloban have been less than stellar. I'll just put it that way. But I go there to fly in and out because it's quick. Direct flight from Iloilo to Tacloban, that's a beautiful thing. There's only one. It's one a day. That's direct. But it's a beautiful thing. I love it. You're up in the air, you're down. It's great, you know. They barely even have time to, bring you a soft drink if you want it. They pretend like they'll do it, but I know they're like hoping nobody buys anything, because that flight's so short. It's like 30, 35 minutes in the actual air. Mr. Paradise says, no, Tom, but you can use yours. Your asshole must puke. There you go. That's all. There you go. Yeah, you can use hers. That's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah. Tom, see, it's good to know. Hey, it's always good to be informed, Tom. Thanks for asking questions. If I can't answer it, I'm sure there's somebody on here that can. Bruce and Carol. Hey, Colonel, sorry I'm a bit late, like an hour. It's all good, Bruce. I'm just happy that you show up, man. That's a good thing. And everybody keep tapping those thumbs up. That helps out everything. Hi to James and Karen from Bruce and Carol. Thanks, Colonel, from James. Hey, James, brother. You don't have to say thank you, but I appreciate it because I always got your back, man. Okay? You and Bella's Traveler, you're my brothers. It's always called, Gino said the Three Musketeers here in Borca. I think me, James, and Bella, we're like the three, or no, he said the Three Amigos. So I think we're more like the Three Musketeers. We're always looking for a new musketeer too. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna keep it real. Okay. The Henry Broussard. Hi, James and Karen. How are y'all doing today? Catholic school girl. Please be a good girl. Okay, this is a good channel. I want to keep it like that. I know. Yeah, I know you. Let's keep it on the up and up, okay? For the sake of everybody here that doesn't know you. Good morning, Colonel. Yeah, that's what I'm reading. Look at that. I'm reading the pen comment. I'm a goof. Norm says, or keep it with, okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate that. The stupid thing was, they put us on a bus knowing the San Juanico Bridge is closed to heavy traffic. Ended up missing that flight. Doesn't that figure? Would have been a good trip to vlog, but low batteries. Hey, Norm. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. And but you know what? It's an experience that you can tell us about, and that makes life interesting. You have another story to tell. And if the Colonel is not anything, he is a storyteller. I love to tell stories. Sometimes I can't remember all of them, but once I remember one and I get going, oh my goodness, I could spin a story now. Where that spin a what? Spin a line? No, is it spin a line? I don't know. Spin some yarn? Yeah, I can tell a good yarn every once in a while. Hello, Bruce and Carol from James and Karen. Hello, Henry Broussard from James and Karen. Man, I appreciate you being here. How are you feeling, James, today? You seemed like you were getting better yesterday. Are you even more so today, or are you having a back? Bellis is not, I think Bellis is sleeping right now, or he was going to go to sleep. He's not feeling well. It didn't keep him from arguing with me about something earlier. That guy, man, I tell you, we're always, it's good fun. And he always likes to prove me wrong. I like to prove him wrong. And, I like to say, normally I say I'm usually wrong, but with Bellis, I'm not always wrong. Sometimes he is. I'm really late to your channel, apparently. What were you a colonel of? KFC, a service member? Yeah, Mr. Paradise. I have one of my early videos talks about why I'm called the Colonel. And you're more than welcome to watch that. It wasn't a real long one, but now the Colonel started out as a nickname. That was my road name from my motorcycle club days. And that was in honor of my father, who was colonel in the Army. And then that carried over into one of the prisons I worked at, where behind my back they tried to make fun of me of my appearance and call me Colonel Sanders, because I had white pointy goatee and the glasses and hair turning white, and they thought I looked like Colonel Sanders. So, and they didn't like me very much at that institution, so they called me Colonel Sanders behind my back. And it just stuck from the motorcycle club and from that. And then I dressed up like Colonel Sanders for Halloween one day. And so that's the short story. So the Colonel just stuck. And when it came to YouTube, where I was like, what should I name my channel? Well, I just went back to my old standby, the Colonel. And I just wanted, chronicle my life, chronicle my past and my future daily activities, and that was going to happen. And as I said, the Colonels Chronicles. And that's why I'm called the Colonel. But yes, I was in the Army. Okay, I'm an Army brat also, and I went to college, and I quit college to go into the Army. So I did my 6 years, because I wait. You're not really a colonel. You never. I'm not trying to steal anything from anybody. That was my road name back in the motorcycle club days, and it is what it is. So, but that's the short story, short and long story of it. James says he's still tired with the sore throat. Yeah, take care of that, James. Take some more of that fake honey, man. Ain't that it? I read somewhere there's no regulations at all about honey. So it doesn't even have to be honey, but they can call it honey. Just make sure it's not motor oil. How's the bike doing, James? Any new update on that? I haven't looked at your channel this morning. Hello, James and Karen from Mr. Paradise. We already did that. Good to know it's a nickname. Yeah, Mr. Paradise is a nickname, but yeah, I was in the Army. Proud of my service. I'd do it again. Hey, Brian. Hey, Colonel. From Brian. Brian, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. If you're just popping in, folks, I appreciate you. I appreciate the thumbs up. I'm still more thumbs up than I am people that are still hanging around, so I appreciate that. That really helps out the channel, and that helps a good channel go out to more places and more people. Because as much as I irritate people, I still try to be a good guy, and I try to talk about good things. Don't always succeed. Sometimes people push my buttons, and I snap back, but it's okay. Let's see, Norm. Yeah, you don't know how hard it was to keep my mouth shut when we had limited time to get to Globan. Google Maps and 6 hours ETA flight was in 7, but they had to stop for a half-hour lunch. you know as they say there, Norm. Welcome to the Philippines. Like that's gonna make everything okay. Welcome to the Philippines, Norm. Oh my goodness. Vaughn, what was your MOS? Wow, Vaughn, we're getting up close and personal, aren't we? Yeah, I don't give up my MOS. We don't talk about that. Because most people don't understand what I did. They think it's something that it's not. And it's just better off if we don't talk about it. Someday we might. But, that's a long time ago. I don't even, I'm proud of my service, but it don't matter. Some people know what I did, but I don't tell too many people because I get tired of hearing the crap that I hear from it. Even when I got out of the Army, I got grief for what I did in the Army. Give me a break. The bike situation has me, yeah, James. I hope it works out, brother. You can always just go get a new bike, I guess. Thank you for your service. Thanks, Mr. Paradise. I'm pretty ticked off about the bike situation from James and Karen. I would be too, James. I'd be very ticked off. But what are we going to do? Get a new motor, I guess, or get a new bike. But, you hate to lose the money. Or you could get a new bike, keep the old one, fix it whenever you have the money to get it fixed. Of course, if you have the money to buy a new bike, you got money to get it fixed. I guess you can look at it that way, too. Life's about choices, Sometimes we get burned from the choices we make. But you'll get it back up and running, man. You'll get it back up and running. Remember, multi-cab. Multi-cab. But you can't do some of the stuff on the multi-cab you can do on the bike. Although, I told you that one day when they were bringing in the concrete, the Portland or whatever to your place, and I saw that multi-cab coming in down the road, coming up to your house. And I saw him gunning to get through that mud. I'm like, I'm like, dang, man. But I thought, well, maybe my multi-cab will make it through that road too. I don't know. But after I bottomed out little rawhide in that mud, I was just like, man, I don't know. You know, if I bottom out a multi-cab, I'm gonna have to make sure I put a winch on the front of it, get me out of mud like that. Are you shopping for another one? Okay, James. You got alternatives out there. If you didn't like to go so much off-road, man, I would just get an ADV, man. And I would look at, for the traveling that you guys want to do, I would look at the X ADV. It's about 306,000 pesos. But what a beautiful bike, man. And so the seat's so comfortable. You know, Karen would probably fall asleep back there. So it might not be good because she might fall asleep and drop the camera, you know, while she's filming. But you could set the camera up on the bike too, you know. But you can't spin, you know, the Osmo cameras around. But I was looking at the XADV yesterday because I've been thinking going back to something comfortable. The only drawback about the bigger bikes is you can't split the lanes as easily sometimes as you can on my little bike like Rawhide. You know, I can go in and out, get in front of, get in front, weave through traffic when they're all stopped, and I can get all the way to the front of the line a lot easier. When you're in the bigger bikes, even the 150s, the ADV 150 and whatnot, the MX, the MX isn't too bad, but when you get into the X bikes, the bigger ones, it's hard. They're fatter, so it's hard to get through some of the traffic. But a lot of that is also it's an optical illusion sometimes because except if you put your feet down, that makes you wider. But you're as wide as you are. Your body is as wide as your body is. So if you're sitting on that bike and that bike's not any wider than your butt per se, I mean, you're going to be able to, if you can get through your body through there, you're going to be able to get the bike through there. But you got the side view mirrors that stick out, and if you put your feet down to steady yourself, which you have to do when you're at a creeping, crawling down, you know, then you've got that extra space, and you know, so if the bike's wider, your legs being down are going to be wider, which makes it harder to get past. That's the only drawback. But as far as comfort, if you're going on, like if I'm going from Iloilo up to Balete, oh, I would love to have that bigger bike. It's so comfortable, you know, and those bigger scooters, they'll corner a lot better than people think. You can lean pretty far on those bikes and not lose traction or anything. A lot of it's just the skill of the rider sometimes and the confidence of the rider. But yeah, I was looking at them yesterday with my friend. I was like, man, but that's 306,000 pesos. But it's sure tempting if I had the money to do it, you know. But I'm still waiting on my multi-cab. Saw a picture of it the other day, and it needs a lot of work. They better get to stepping on that thing to meet that 6 to 8 week deadline. I'm already at 6 weeks, so they got 2 weeks to get stepping on that thing to make it what I want it to be. We'll see. Okay, what's that, Vaughn? Okay, Vaughn. Working on Philippines time, Brian. Okay, yeah, exactly, Brian. Looking CRF 300 Rally. Well, James, those are nice looking bikes. Okay, just make sure that the seat is comfortable for Karen. I mean, just sometimes when we're married, lots of times, folks, and you guys that are married, girls that are married, can disagree with me or agree with me. You know, you got to consider each other in a relationship and in a marriage. And, you know, just because I like something doesn't mean my girl's going to like it. And I need to be considerate of her comfort also. Same thing on motorbikes. Some of these motorbikes, the pillion or the back seat behind you, I mean, it's only that thick. Well, come on, man. She's got I don't care if she's got padding back there or not. You know, if you're going riding for a long time, it's uncomfortable. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I looked at the CRF. They're nice bikes, but unless they've added extra, that seat, if I remember correctly, it's like that wide, the back seat. I mean, it's like nothing. The pad is like that wide. So just be careful, man. You know, I know you want to off-road, but I just let that go. And if you're thinking about having children, you got to consider that too, man. But hey, if you want it bad enough, you get it. I think they're nice bikes, but they are what they are. It's a dirt bike, correct? Am I wrong on that? I think it's a straight up dirt bike, and It is what it is, man. If that's what you really want. And I think they're like really high up, so that's something to consider too for Karen getting on and off of it. You gotta make sure you can sit on it and get it lower enough so it's easy enough for her to get up and over on it. Brian says, I've noticed that some of the bike shops have heaps of secondhand or older bikes, in particular the bike shop on the outskirts of Cataclan. I think it was Gino that told me there are bikes that people reneged on payments. Yeah. Thanks, Vaughn. Vaughn says you're a good friend and a great guy to James and Karen, Colonel. Thanks, Vaughn. It's reciprocal. They're also great friends to me and great people, and they've invited me into their home at times and haven't complained about me being there or using up water or food or whatever. So it's reciprocal, and we're like brothers. We don't always agree, but we're like brothers. There's a closeness there. Brian, that's always an option. For me now, I will not buy a used vehicle in the Philippines unless it's from a dealership that is going to handle the legalities of all the paperwork. Now, if I'm going to buy from an individual person, I'm not doing it. I've had nothing but bad experiences through doing that in the past, and I don't want to do it anymore. That's a personal decision. And some people, oh man, I don't have any issue, whatever. Okay, well that's you, and that's fine. But but I seriously, unless the bike's trashed, when you're going to see at a place like that, and yeah, it's more than likely it's because people turned the bike back in because they weren't making the payments. They couldn't make the payments, didn't want to make the payments, or whatever. And it's looking bad. Look at that, it's looking bad. It's the shadows of the lighting in here, but man, Colonel was looking old. But just be careful. You know, if it's a dealership and they're doing a pre-owned or used bike, it's probably not an issue as far as the legalities of the paperwork. But that's where you can get jammed up, getting the ORC and everything set up and getting it and putting your name and whatnot. But if they're going to do it for you and put it on the up and up, however they want to do it, I'm not going to say how they do it, but how they want to do it and they can get all the paperwork from the LTO for you, it's not a problem. But I choose not to do it on a one-on-one with someone personally. I'll do it at a dealership, but that's it. Thanks, Vaughn, again for those kind words. Appreciate that. Brian says, M goes to sleep on me on a bike. Yeah, don't let M fall off, Brian. So I don't ride anymore. Used to have her helmet start knocking mine. Yeah, disconcerting at 120. Yeah, it would be. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I'd do if one of my exes ever fell off. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to think about that, man. That's horrendous. Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody falling asleep and falling off the back of a bike? That's a tragedy. That's just, oh my goodness, that's not good. Brian says, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, Brian, I've had some bad experiences. That doesn't mean you would or anybody else has, but I have. Because let's just say certain people over here are not all on the up and up when it comes to honesty. And and sometimes paperwork looks correct and everything looks like it's on the up and up, but then when you go to the LTO, magically it's not on the up and up. You're like, what? All the numbers match, the VIN number, everything match. What? Oh no, this isn't real. What do you mean it's not real? It's on their document, it's got their little stamp on it, whatever, and it's like, oh, it's not real. Sometimes it makes you question whether they're just jerking your chain or not. I'll leave that at that. Because they want more money. I'm not saying corruption. I didn't say that. Don't misquote me. You're like an uncle to James and Karen. I don't know what I am to James and Karen Vine. That'll have to come from them. As long as you don't say I'm a mooch, or a leech. I guess I don't mind being an uncle. It's all. I prefer to think I'm the older brother. But it's all good. I appreciate both of them. And James is what? What are you, James? What would you say? Would you say you're a little hard-headed, James? I'm not going to accuse him. I'm just going to ask him what he thinks. I think they're gone now. I'm not sure. But, James is as stubborn as I am. Maybe more than me, I think, to be honest. It's all good. We have a good time together. Unless we move there, I'm just going to pay someone to drive me, Brian. Okay. Well, I pay people to drive me a lot, Brian. You know, I use Grab, and I found out in Tacloban I need to use Maxim, which cracks me up. When I think of Maxim, I think of a magazine, and I'm just kind of like, I don't buy those magazines. But seen a lot of them in the prison. But but yeah, Maxim is the name of the transportation company in Tacloban. If you ever go there, and you're looking for Grab, good luck. Maxim is the company used, and you know what? They were fine and they were great. I had good experience with Maxim. It's not too crazy priced, but it's just like Grab, only different name, different company. Okay. Go to the LTO with them before you hand over the pesos. Yeah, Norm, that's one way to do it. That doesn't always work out, does it? But that's one way to do it. You, and if they refuse to do that with you, well, then you already know something's probably not on the up and up. Yeah. Well, folks, I'm down to the bottom of the page again, and I've been on here for an hour and 26 and a half minutes. It's probably time for me to get off here and do whatever I got to do today, and take care of some personal business, and maybe go visit a friend or two today. Oh, I do need to work on my video from Gimmerus Island yesterday, and taking the row over there with Rawhide and my friend. And that's right, Brian. Okay, bye, mate, from Brian. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you being here. And you have a good day, Colonel, from Henry Broussard. Take care from Mr. Paradise. Have a great one, Colonel, from Vaughn. You know what, guys? This is fantastic. There's 12 people still on this live stream at an hour and a half. I know people come and go. But you know what? That's just, as a fledgling YouTuber that I am, that's just a wonderful feeling, and makes me feel good. And I really appreciate that. And Bruce and Carol say, all right, Colonel, see you later. God bless you. Likewise. Likewise. Have a great day, Colonel, and stay safe. See you, everyone, from Norm. Folks, that's the way a YouTube live feed should be, or live stream should be, where we're talking. We may not always agree on things, but we're disseminating information to each other. We're becoming friends, creating an online relationship in a good way, in a positive way, not talking trash about people. Although sometimes people need to be trash talked, let's just be honest. And but I appreciate all you guys coming in here. I appreciate you being civil to each other and being civil to me. And likewise, so I can be civil to you, because I got a short fuse sometimes. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the thumbs up. And I'm going to sign off for now. You all take care. God bless. Stay safe in your daily lives. Love your families. Tell the person you love that you love them always, because you just don't know how short life can be. Stay blessed, everyone, from Von Dormo. Appreciate that, Von. And I'm going to end it here. Leave you in peace. And Bruce and Carol, thank you. Colonel is out. There's my salute. You all take care.